Good morning and welcome to our live Q&A for clearing. Thank you for coming along to find out more about joining Edinburgh Napier University through clearing. Today we're going to be chatting about what clearing is and the process for applying, and of course we've got a Q&A as well. We've had some questions in advance, but if you've got any more, please do ask your questions in the comments and we will put them to our panel. I'm Zoe and I'm from the marketing team here at Edinburgh Napier University. Today I'm joined by members of our student recruitment team who will be able to answer all of your questions. I'm joined by Neil, who is our student recruitment and widening participation manager, Debbie, who is the recruitment lead for computing, engineering and the built environment, and Ilsa, who is the recruitment lead for nursing and midwifery. So that's the introductions done. Let's get started. I'm going to hand over to Neil for a quick overview of clearing at Edinburgh Napier.
Well, hi there, everyone. We get asked a lot what actually is clearing, and clearing is the opportunity for people to get a space on some of our courses that we may still have available for starting this September. People come to us through clearing for a variety of different reasons. It could be that you've never even thought about going to university and you're maybe just thinking about it now and you've already got your qualifications. So it means you can contact us directly and we can discuss, take you through all the different processes, find out if you're eligible for our courses. We can do all of that side of things. But it's also available for people that maybe you've already applied through UCAS this year already, and maybe you're holding an offer at another university, but you're actually really thinking, Edinburgh Napier is actually my preferred choice. Can I still get into them? Do they still have spaces on my course that I'm interested in? And again, we can talk you through all those different processes and we may be able to accept you through that way. And we'll talk you through all the practicalities that you've got to go through as well. But clearing is also an opportunity for people that maybe you don't meet the offer that you've got. So maybe you've got a conditional offer to study at a university. It could be Edinburgh Napier, it could be another university, and maybe you don't quite meet that condition. And you're looking to see, well, actually, what other opportunities are available for you? And you may then decide to come and speak to us at Edinburgh Napier. So there's a wide variety of reasons why people come and speak to us. But one thing to bear in mind for clearing, it's all for starting full-time courses for this September. So it's not about if you're wanting to start next year, it is all about starting this year with us, and we'll be looking at the courses and the spaces that we have available. So that's kind of a bit of a brief overview of what clearing is.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Neil. We shall move straight into the questions. So we've got a fair few to get through. So someone has asked what courses are available through clearing.
Well, I kick off on that one, shall I? Well, we have a wide variety of courses available through clearing. The key thing to remember is that clearing is a moving beast. So actually, if you're interested in our courses and you see things that are available, you do kind of have to act quite quickly and kind of get in contact with us. We have a range of courses available across the university. It's not all of our courses, but there is a wide selection available. And if you go onto our website, it actually then shows you all the different courses that you're interested in, that you could be interested in, and what's still available for us. We do have different courses available for different categories of students. So please, when you look on our website, we will be asking you if you're a Scottish student, if you're coming from elsewhere across the UK, if you're coming from an international student, or if you're classified as a widening participation student. And for each category, just click on the section and it will show you the wide variety of courses that we have available for them. So that's kind of what a broad view is, but we do have quite some specific courses available as well, which I don't know if my colleagues want to mention subjects in their areas.
Yeah, I mean, I can say for computing, engineering and the built environment, we've got a really wide range of courses still available. So it's a great opportunity to get into one of those courses in those areas. It's also worth noting that you don't have to be a school leaver to apply through clearing. I think often people think that that's what it's for. We're waiting on results day for people that haven't met those requirements, that are looking to see what their other options are. And that's actually not the case. We're really interested in hearing from people from different backgrounds. Maybe they've been working in industry, have some technical experience, they want to join university and get into their degree. You also don't have to join in first year. So we're happy to look at people joining into second and third year, and we'll kind of assess everyone on an individual basis. So anything in the computing, engineering and the built environment area, please have a look. If you've got a background and really want to get into study, we'd be really delighted to talk to you.
Can I chip in for nursing? Midwifery and child health are full. I'm afraid they are very, very popular courses. So see you next year if you fancy those. But we do have a few places left for adult nursing, for mental health nursing, and for our learning disabilities nursing. I'm afraid it's not so often you can get a place in year 2 of our courses because nursing doesn't allow any sort of prior recognition of prior study apart from very specific courses. So most will be joining us in September for first year on our 3-year Bachelor of Nursing programmes.
Yeah, that was great. Thanks for sharing a bit more about the courses available. So we've got another question here. How would someone go about applying for a course through Clearing?
Oh, it's so easy. And I think a lot of people are actually a bit apprehensive about Clearing, thinking it's a really scary thing and it's really complicated. It's really not that difficult. And there's always people to help and support you through the process. So the first thing that I recommend to people is contacting us directly. So first of all, you can contact us by phone. So you can phone us up during our operating hours. And the phone number is all over our website. But if you don't know it, it is 0333 900 3050 for that one. But you can also go onto our website, and on the Clearing web pages, we have a Clearing inquiry form as well. And that asks for all the key details for us in order to see if you meet the conditions for our course. And what's also really good about that form is it gives you the opportunity, if you've already got your certificates, you can upload them onto your application, into your inquiry, and it means we can process your application much quicker. So one of our Clearing operators would either assess your inquiry form or speak to you on the phone. We see if you meet our entry criteria for the different courses. And if we can offer you a space onto that course, we'll then send you all the details about what you've got to do, either submitting things through UCAS or going through slightly different routes. Or if there's a course that maybe involves additional selection criteria, we would then talk you through all the different details for that part as well. And that is quite common for some of our creative industry courses. So courses that you maybe have to submit a portfolio for or something like that. You've still got to do that through Clearing, but we would send you, the Clearing team would send you all the information to do with that as well. But we also have additional selection, particularly for nursing as well. So I think, Ailsa, I'll pass over to you to explain that process for that one.
Yes, we like to see our student nurses and we have a selection process that is basically it's an afternoon. You get to select the date that you're available to come and join us for an afternoon. You find out a lot more about the course just to make sure it's the right course for you, because nursing is, like many of my colleagues will say, that all their courses are specialised. Nursing is particularly specialised. If you're not good with people, it's maybe not the course for you. So, think elsewhere. But we'll sit down, talk to you about the programme so you'll understand what you're joining. And then we have a short assessment. Basically, we're looking for people who have the kernel of what we're looking for in a nurse. So think about who you would like to look after you in the future if you are not well. That's what we're looking for.
Excellent. It's great that prospective student nurses can come in to campus and have a look around and chat to you. So that's always good. Just on the back of your question, your answer about how to apply through Clearing, on the phone line, can someone else phone on their behalf, or does it have to be the student themselves who phones?
Generally, we prefer to speak to the actual student themselves, but we know it can be a wee bit daunting for some people. So sometimes we can speak to others on your behalf. So for instance, if you've filled out your UCAS form and you've put a nominated access on your UCAS form already, so maybe you've put a family member or a close friend or something like that, you've given us consent to speak to someone else on your behalf by doing that. So that's brilliant. If you've not done that, we can speak very generally to others about aspects of Clearing and things. But if we want to speak specifically about an individual applicant and their circumstances, we do need that consent. But it could literally be the student being on the phone to us and they say, can you speak to this person? And they're standing beside me and they've given us that verbal consent, and we can then speak to that person on their behalf. Or if they send us an email in that just confirms that, yep, you can speak to this person on my behalf, we can also accept that as confirmation as well. It's just about all the data protection side of things. We know, for instance, it's extremely common after you've left high school or college or sixth form to maybe go on holiday with all your friends before you all go off to university. So you might not be around on exam results day, for instance. And if you're expecting like mum or dad or another family member to act on your behalf, make sure we've got that consent beforehand. It'll make it much, much easier in the long run for that. So we do need some sort of consent. But once we have that, we can totally speak to someone on your behalf. That's not a problem. But we are a lovely bunch of people on the phones, so don't worry, we're very friendly.
That's great, and yeah, I hope everyone is enjoying their holidays if they are getting away for some fun times. We've had a question from Anna on YouTube. So we mentioned that clearing is for courses for starting this September, and Anna has asked when in September will classes start?
Do one of you guys want to take that one?
Well, I'll start off with nursing. For nursing, we've got week 1, which is hello and welcome to the university, and that starts on Monday, the 5th of September. And our new students will have activity on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of that week. On Thursday and Friday that week, we've got our 2nd and 3rd year students coming in for a sort of like welcome back in your next year of study. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, scheduled activity, some of which will be on campus, but some of it will be online. And I'm aware that we have lots of students who are still on holiday, you lucky things, in which case a lot of our material is recorded. So therefore you can actually dip in and out of it at a later date. And that's your hello and welcome to the university. And teaching starts the following Monday. So literally week 2 of the term. And our first years can expect to be scheduled activity on a Wednesday and a Friday. So scheduled classes, one is online and one is actually on campus in person. And at other points, you will have time to spend in our clinical skills centre. So you'll be starting your practical skills and you'll be scheduled dates of those once you've actually matriculated. So 2 confirmed days starting in, well, essentially we start on the 5th of September, teaching starts the following week. That's you sorted till Christmas. Over to you, Debbie.
Yeah, very similar for us in computing and engineering the built environment, the same date. So we have our induction week. Our timetable's perhaps not as fixed in terms of just being those set days. It varies a little bit more depending on which program you're studying and which year of entry, but you will get all of that information beforehand, but those activities will run over that week with formal teaching starting the week after. It's very much a good introduction to the university. It's about getting to meet your classmates, seeing who else you'll be studying with, getting used to all the facilities and the campus, and just generally getting to know how everything will work in the university. So it's something you don't want to miss, I think.
And I think it's good to add as well as all the classes and the timetables, our ENSLA team as well, our student union, our student association, also do a range of activities and things during the day, in the evenings, right across that beginning and starting with us period. So there's lots of great activities to get involved in, and I really encourage you to get involved in them as much as you can. There's lots of weird and wonderful things out there out with your timetable that I'm sure you'll enjoy.
Yeah, there's lots of opportunities to get involved with different things at university. Kind of similar to that, we've had a question about what to expect as a clearing student on a course.
Do one of you guys want to start it off? Or like in terms of admissions perspective and that process, it's very similar to every other student. It can just be slightly more condensed down. So for instance, when you're speaking to us and we're giving you the offer, that can happen quite rapidly, but you'll then still get sent all of the same information about induction and timetables. You'll still be sent all of that same information as all of our general students there, and then you then start your classes there. So I would say from a pre-entry standpoint, it's almost identical, just very quick at the very beginning.
Yeah, I think from our side, as kind of academics for the students, once you're in class during induction week, we have no visibility of where everyone's come from and when they applied, and we don't care. We just want everyone to get on and enjoy their time at university and be the best they can. So from that regard, you're just a student, that's joined us, the same as everyone else. There's just no difference between you at all.
Yeah, very much the same in nursing. Once you have matriculated, you are a student and you're all welcome in class.
Perfect, that's great. So we've got another question here about the kind of timeline. So clearing is open now. When is it open to? And are there kind of any key dates for people?
Well, clearing, as you say, yeah, we're officially in the clearing period. We're in that clearing process now. We can, depending on what classification of student you are and your circumstances, we can be pretty flexible in terms of sometimes right up to the very last minute before starting with us. We have got some exceptions to that. So already, for instance, if we have any new students that require an international visa to come and study with us, unfortunately, we can't accept any more international visa students studying with us through clearing. And that's purely just because of all of the processes and the timelines required to get that student visa. And we know there's, like, across the whole country, not just at Edinburgh Napier, there is a big processing issue globally with that. And we don't want to kind of give people false hope and trying to say they can get into us and then they get held up because of something like a visa processing issue there. So for students in that situation, we're encouraging them to study with us at a later date, and then we can again take them through all that process there. In terms of other deadlines, the only other real deadlines we've kind of really got is to do with if you're wanting to stay in student accommodation with us and you want to be guaranteed a space in our student accommodation. We have a deadline that is required for that, but we can be very quite flexible for the vast majority of our students. I say the vast majority, there's sometimes some exceptions there. If you need to submit documentation to us, certificates, if you need to complete something, so if there's an online course or something like that, we're asking you to complete as well. You need to make sure you've done all of these things before we can formally accept you. But if you've got your certificates, you've got your spaces, we can be pretty flexible and it can be right up to the last minute. However, I always have the caveat there, we will not have all courses available at that stage. As courses start to fill up, they will be coming off clearing. So if you see a course you're interested in and you're eligible for clearing, please get in contact with us as soon as you can. And for that, it's really important you do that.
Cool. That's great. Thanks, Neil. We've got a question here about coming to university from college and the clearing process for that. Is it different or is it the same kind of process?
The process is the same. You can apply to join us in any year, and we very much encourage people coming from college and maybe you weren't sure if you're going to manage to complete your HNC or HND and you weren't really thinking about what your next steps would be. We know it's been difficult through COVID, so sometimes that kind of planning that you would have done maybe hasn't happened in the same way. So, now's your chance, have a look at what courses are there and obviously see what your HNC or HND maps onto and where you can continue your studies. But very much welcome to apply through clearing and would be happy to deal with your application.
I think one thing to add in there perhaps is we know that this year, like you may not have your official SQA certificate yet to say that you've fully completed your HNC, HND, but you know your grades that the college have told you. Get in contact with us, even though you've not got your certificate, because we'll talk you through the processes that we can still accept you to clearing. Because we've had a few people thinking they've got to wait until they've got their actual documentation. That's normally the case, but for HNC, HND students, contact us and we'll talk you through different processes that you can go through.
Okay, that's great to know, so people can get in touch for information so they're ready to go when they receive the documentation they need. That's great. And we've got another question about if someone has a conditional offer from Edinburgh Napier University but didn't get the results they needed, can they go through clearing to get on that course, or would it have to be a different course?
Generally speaking, if you've applied to us and you were not successful in getting onto that particular course, you'll not be eligible for that course through clearing. That's kind of the general rule that we have there. But you may be eligible for another similar course as well. So we'd still encourage you to get in contact with us and we can then talk you through, well, actually, unfortunately, we can't accept you onto this course, but there may be this course or this course. There's a wide variety. And what's really surprising is people sometimes don't realise the courses that we have available or the courses we offer. And actually the course they end up getting through clearing, they're much more delighted about and they love it so much more as well. So generally, unfortunately, if you've been unsuccessful for one course with us, we will not be able to accept you through clearing for that same course. But as I say, there will be different ones available.
Excellent. Yeah, so if you're in that situation, please do still reach out. There might be another course available for you through clearing. So we've got a final kind of question here about returning to education as a mature student, and should they go through clearing as well at this stage?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think clearing's a great opportunity. Often I think sometimes the kind of formal UCAS process is much more visible to students or to people that are at school, in terms of deadlines and how to do it, and the support is kind of there for school pupils really. So for mature students or people that are looking for new careers, that are maybe already working or in employment, they want to become a full-time student, clearing's a great opportunity to have a look, see what's out there, and think about what your next steps would be.
I think I want to add for nursing that, yes, we very much like mature students. We have a fantastic range of students from sort of 17-year-olds. I think we even have a 16-year-old about to start, 17-year-olds through to people in their 50s. And that's one of the things that we really like, because when we do tutorials, people bring a mix of experience. So it's not just your educational qualifications, although some younger students may be fantastic in the library and on the computers. I'm not, but it's that range, and people bring different life experiences. So mature students, fantastic, really welcome, and we have a lot of mature students on our course, but we don't consider them to be mature students because they're our normal students. What I would say is if you've been out of education for some time, then we might look at, so still talk to us, but we may look at what you've actually done and what experience you've got. And there may well be there's some short courses that we need to do as refreshers, or it may be that we can actually advise you on what to do, and we look forward to an application next year. So nothing is lost. If it's even a kernel in your mind, then talk to us, and we'll get you on the right route and hope to see you in class.
Yeah, I was going to say, just to add to that as well, I think what you also said there, we're such a supportive university as well. If we have people that, for instance, maybe they're not eligible to get onto our courses right away through clearing, we'll talk you through all the different processes that you can go through to actually come to us later on, for instance. So it could be, for instance, you're maybe not meet the criteria for our course to start this September, but you could go to college for 1 year and do a course there, and then you can then sometimes start in the second year of our course with us, or you do 2 years at college, you can start in third year of our course as well. And we have those people on hand to speak to. Our clearing operators are there as well, but we have dedicated support here at Edinburgh Napier to discuss those alternative routes into our courses. So it's never too late to come to university, so everyone should be looking into it.
One of the things I should add, we actually also think about your experience. So if you're working as, say, a clinical support worker in healthcare, we look at that. We obviously need to marry that up with some formal education, because we don't want people to arrive on our course and then really struggle with the academic side of things. But we can help you with that, and we do look at your experience, which is really helpful.
Yeah, I think just following on from what Neil said as well, we have really good links with our local colleges and articulation agreements in place. So those, kind of courses that we recommend, we'll know that you can join us because you're going to do all the right stuff, while you're with them, studying the right content to make sure when you join us the year later or 2 years later that you'll be really successful.
I think it's around about something like 30% of our students actually come in through college as well. So it's definitely, there's so many different ways to come study with us.
Yeah, that's great. And just to echo what everyone is saying on the panel, if you know exactly what you want to do and clearing is the right option for you, phone us. If you're not sure, you need some support in knowing what to do, phone us. If you're just, Ailsa said, the kernel in your mind, give us a call and we'll be able to help you through it and give you some guidance on how to join Edinburgh Napier. So I think that's us all finished our questions for now. We have received a nice comment from Fiona on Facebook, who has said that their daughter has just got a place through clearing, and there was kind of a last minute epiphany. And Fiona has said that the process was easy and the staff were really helpful, and that they encourage anyone to try. So there you go. That's a nice thing to end on there. Thanks for that, Fiona. So yeah, thanks to everyone for joining us live today. We hope the session has been really helpful for you and answered your questions. If you want to find out more about clearing, you can visit our website. It's napier.ac.uk/clearing, or you can give us a phone on the clearing phone line, which is 0333 900 3050. Just reading that off the bottom of the screen there. But yeah, all that information is on the website for you as well. And yeah, we look forward to hearing from you. And thanks again for the panel today for joining me and answering all the great questions we've had. Hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Good luck.
Thank you. Yes, good luck.